Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is Allie Tarot 108. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today we are doing a celebrity reading on the famous First Lady of the USA, Melania Trump. Now, Melania comes across as a person who doesn't want to be too much in the limelight. I mean, not as much as her husband, definitely not. She comes across as being much more reserved than he is, of course. And today we're looking at her past, present, and especially future. So we're going to take one line of tarot for her past, one line for her present, and one line for her future. But I want to just ask for an indicator card about the general overall mood and theme of Melania and about her life. So please, if anybody wants to jump out, this one was jumping out, please give it to us. Openness. I know that when one door closes, another opens. Today, I trust the universe, I trust myself, and I trust life. No matter what has gone before, I have faith that something better is on its way. My willingness to release the past prepares me to accept the many new opportunities God has before me. I think that's very telling. Openness, definitely. We know that Melania was a model. She comes from humble beginnings in her small town of Slovenia. Now, I will say that, of course, I'm not a biographer about the celebrities that I do readings on. I don't necessarily do in-depth research about the personalities that I am reading on. Of course, you have to know a little bit of something about the person, of course. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's look at the past of Melania. And when we're looking at the past, I mean, it's quite easy and obvious to know about what's in the news or what's been told to the public about the person. But what we do in tarot and what we want to do is really get into the nitty-gritty, into who that person is, how they're feeling inside, their relationships, and their deeper feelings of things inside. So already I'm telling you, what I pick up in our indicator card is that the general theme of Melania's life, of course we have the word openness, the general theme of her life, I feel, is like opportunities, opportunist. Like she has done things in her life continually which are like carpe diem, seize the day. I feel like she is a person who she has just been unafraid to basically not only go after what she wants, but to leave herself as being open enough to accept the advances and the developments that life gives her. So we know she comes from very humble beginnings and came to America with nearly nothing and made a career as a model. Anyway, let's look at the reading. So we want to know deeper about Melania Trump. Let's get into her past. Wow, Page of Wands. For sure, that energy, that's her right there. Page of Wands, she's a beautiful woman. She's always been beautiful, elegant, and this fire. No, that Wands is action. She's like this damsel of action, this damsel of taking stride in anything. Again, the word opportunist comes to me psychically very strongly. So let's look at what else. Melania Trump. Let's talk about her life, her past, her upbringing. How was it? Yes, Queen of Swords. Three of Cups. Very interesting. Five of Swords in reverse. Empress in reverse. Eight of Swords in reverse. And Ace of Cups reversed. It's interesting with the reversals here, what's going on. So what I'm seeing here is that this is a person who has a lot of things on their mind, first of all, but I feel like there have been great disappointments in this person's life. Now, remember, we're looking at her past, we're looking at her upbringing, childhood, these kind of things. I get this energy of there being a lot of communion, you can say, like communication and this really like communal atmosphere. Now, exactly, we do know that she grew up in Slovenia when it was under communism. So, if anybody here is Eastern European or has been around Eastern European people, you know that even today in Eastern Europe, there's a certain atmosphere of really like community that Eastern European people have. And I get here with this Three of Cups, this whole energy of like, I feel good with my friends, with my family, with my community, with the people that I live around and live with. I get this energy though, like with the Queen of Swords here, it's like, I feel I was destined for greater things and bigger things more than just being here in the village. You see this Three of Cups here, just these, you know, village girls, simple girls, really playing together. How else to say it? We know that in a village mindset, there can be a certain pettiness and a certain small town mindset. How else to explain it? Pettiness, competition between each other. But I get this energy about like we still support each other and we love each other. Even if we tease, if we play games, we love each other and we support each other. And I get this energy. Now, I don't know if Melania has any sisters, but I definitely do feel this energy that she would have been surrounded by young girls or women her own age who may have been sisters or cousins or just generally other village girls. And I get this energy like in her childhood, um, there was a lot of female support for each other, women just being with women. I get this energy like that. But I feel like this thing in the background again is this whole thing like, okay, I'm here, I'm living this life, I'm born in this life. What is my destiny? I feel like I'm meant for greater things, destined for bigger and greater things. And there's this element of like passion. I have this passion for this to discover something bigger and better than myself. And I feel like that may have been part of her big reason for coming to America or the USA or like that. This whole energy of I believe I'm meant for something greater and bigger, bigger than what's here for me in this small town or in this village where I live. With the Five of Swords here, I get this energy again. It's all about disappointment, I feel. There's this big energy of disappointment. And I feel here with the Empress in reverse, it's like she felt, in some instances, taken for granted. Like she's not being treated right, like she's not being treated well enough, like she believes that she's worth more. The Empress in reverse here. With the Eight of Swords here, I get this feeling like very big stressors were on her. And I get the message right now about when she came to America. Also with this Ace of Cups here, this Eight of Swords and Ace of Cups, these two cards, it's like this energy of, I get the psychic message about when she came to America. It's like I feel things were quite difficult. I feel like I get this message that if she would have stayed in the village, her life could have been okay. And I feel like I see the psychic message where it's like two different tracks of the destiny of Melania Trump. And one track is the track she's on now, and the other track is the track of staying where she was, potentially marrying a Slovenian guy and just staying where she was and living a kind of average, like medium difficulty life, that other people experienced at the time. Um, but that whole route of there could have been that whole route of, okay, I'm not going to try to do anything more. I'm not going to try to go beyond where I am. I'm just going to stay where I am, stay this in this country or in this area and just live within that safe zone. I get that psychic vision, but it's like I get the message from her guides around her, which is that they tell me that wasn't meant for her. And if she would have stayed in Slovenia or in that general area, they tell me that she wouldn't have fulfilled her destiny as the person she's meant to be. And I get the message as well from them about her past life that in her past life, she was also a person of influence. And I get this message about her being actually a person of politics in her past life. I get this energy around her actually also being a woman in her past life. And I get the image of her as being potentially East Asian. Because I don't know why, I get the message that in her past life she was uh, she was actually East Asian. I'm seeing someone who's maybe like I get the strong feeling about China actually. And I feel that she was potentially like the daughter of a politician or the part of a political dynasty or something like this. But I don't feel it was like the president of China or anything. I feel like it may have just been someone in a smaller city or um, in a more major city of China who had some kind of daughter. I get this imagery about Melania Trump like she was part of a dynasty, particularly in China, and part of a political dynasty somehow. Yeah, it's very interesting these visions that are coming to me. So it comes up like she came into the family that she was born into simply to to I feel in her past life she had a desire um, to be beauty, um, and there's actually the word queen coming up, like beauty queen. Um, and I feel her in her past life that she had this desire to be a really just like gorgeous woman like this with fair skin and like Slavic in a way. I get this message about her and her soul's journey and her past life. So it seems to me that her soul was born in that state because of that desire for that beautiful, like form or beautiful body, basically. Um, and then it it came up that whole you can say like lineage or essence carried on from her past life into her present life, which was that there has to be a need for something bigger and to be in a spotlight, and also to there, she has a certain karma with politics as well. Very much. She has a certain destiny with politics, Melania Trump. So I want to say here that with these two cards, it seems that when she came to the US or when she started her journey away from home, away from Slovenia, it seems to me that part of that journey was quite difficult, but I get this feeling like she always had hope, she always had perseverance, and I get this feeling like she always knew it would be beneficial for her, highly beneficial for her to continue with what she's doing and the path that she's on and the track that she's on, even if it's immensely difficult. And she feels, in a way, sometimes like she's selling her soul. I get that energy here with the Ace of Cups in reverse. It's like this energy like, I've sold my soul for a buck, for a dollar, for a coin. It's like, I don't know if I'm with angels or devils right now, this whole energy. I feel like she's had those moments in her life quite a bit, quite a lot, and I feel like I get this energy of her really making some soul sacrifices for the things that she's come to and for the things that she's got in her life. So we can look more at her past, and coming into her present, we can look at her present as well. I don't want this reading to be too long today. We can look at her present as well. Four of Cups. So this is her present coming up. I feel this big energy around feeling proud of children in particular, feeling happy with the situation that she's in emotionally. I feel like she's okay with what she has, and she feels, I get this feeling of her actually feeling grateful. I'm feeling like I made it. And I get this actual feeling of her having quite a lot of faith in, it seems like Catholic or Christian religion. Like I get her having a great deal of faith in the like in God basically. And I get this feeling of her actually doing quite a lot with her mental state to empower herself positively. Like, I get this vision and feeling like she could actually have a journal or be into journaling, or just like I see these little things around her, and it's kind of just like paper things. Like, now I don't know if she's into scrapbooking or anything like that, but I get this image and this message about her really being into like little mementos and little things of memory, and being sentimental, especially about kids for whatever reason. Now, not only about kids, but I feel about her mother and about things from her own childhood. And I get this message right now, which is the words, I made it. I made it. And also the words, we made it. Um, and I feel like part of that is to her mother. I get the message about her mother again. And it seems like Melania, I feel like she really feels close to her blood family. I get that feeling. Um, and I get that this feeling also like her husband is kind of just like a means to an end. Her marriage is like a means to an end. I feel like the relationships that she has with her husband Donald Trump and potentially with other men before, I feel like there's a message or there's a phrase which comes up which is like these this family member is like another bone. It's like another a foreign limb of the body. And her actual blood family, I feel like her parents and relatives, Slovenian relatives, I feel like she feels a lot closer to them than she ever could, even with Donald Trump or with any other, um, particularly American man, I feel that she's been with. I feel her having quite a distance, kind of culturally or emotionally, from American men in particular. And I feel her like she's had moments in her life when she's been quite lonely. But I feel like she's taken a lot of refuge, especially I get this message about her mother again. I feel like her mother has always been her cheerleader and always been encouraging her with this Three of Cups energy here. Definitely. So what else do we need to know about Melania's present state? Queen of Wands. Yeah. True. What else? The World. True as well. We see here she's got this energy of children around as well. Um, we know her son, Baron. I get this feeling like he was a new light for her, because I get this feeling like in her marriage with Donald, she's felt often like sidelined. Um, Again, I get this message like her marriage is just like a means to an end. I feel like um, it's not so much a relationship about true love as it is a relationship about sharing assets or resources, and just, this kind of, how to say it, this kind of trade-off type of marriage, as it were. So with this Queen of Wands in reverse here, I get this feeling of her, yes, feeling somewhat alone in things, but still knowing that I have love and light inside of me, and I have things I can share with the world. And I do have love. I have love, and I have things that I can give. Again, I get a message about her mother, and her mother supporting her a lot through her marriage and through any difficulties that she's had in her marriage. With the World card here, I see this whole energy around motherhood being like a new breath of life into her. And I feel like motherhood is a very important key thing coming up here for her, for Melania. Temperance. With the situation in the politics, with Trump being in the politics, we know that Melania, she has had to really balance her public image, because we know that there's a lot of criticism from people, and there's a lot of negative talking about her. And I get this feeling like she has to play things very safe in a way. And I get this message as well, which is like, I feel that PR teams and training teams for their public image and stuff have told Melania, um, don't push yourself too much, or basically like, don't put yourself out there too much. I don't know why. Um, why is that? This whole temperance in reverse is kind of like, okay, I'm walking on a thin edge, and I have to be very careful about what I say and what I do. And I get this image of the PR team telling her like, okay, you have to improve your public image. And I do get the message about something about her language, like her accent, and seeming potentially too foreign to the American public, or generally, I feel like she's had some training around that. But I get this message as well, like, deep down in her heart, she doesn't care too much about making a good impression for the American public. I feel this image and this energy like she cares much, much more about her home life than she really does about the public sphere, and about presenting herself in the public sphere, at least at this point. I get this message like she never expected to be on the world stage as she is right now, beside her husband as the president of the United States. Um, I get this feeling like this second time around for the presidential race, um, she's much more relaxed, I feel. I feel the first time it was a very, very big stress on her because things were very uncertain. And I get this feeling like the first time around for the presidential race with Trump and when he won the first time in 2016, that she was very stressed because she felt like this presidency may pull her out of the home and force her to be on the public stage as her husband was or is. That was the first time around. But I feel like now for the second time around, she knows what it is, her husband's presidency, and she knows that no one is forcing her to be out in the open like that. I get now an image of like a deer or like a gazelle, like this kind of elegant animal, and it's like this shyness. And it's like, I don't want to be in front of the lions because it's not my atmosphere. That's the energy coming up. So, what else do we need to know about Melania's present state right now? Queen of Pentacles, of course, we know it. Nine of Cups, how interesting. The Tower. Okay, the Devil. So, what I'm picking up here is that about the relationship with her husband, Donald Trump. Now, we know that they're extremely wealthy, extremely rich. And I get the message as well that Melania has given part of that wealth to her family, or to her relatives back home, I feel, because I feel her really like she's done all that she's done just to push herself forward, with the motivation of making a better life, not only for herself, but also for um, like her relatives or something like this. But I feel blood ties being very, very strong with her. So what it comes up with this Nine of Cups, Tower, and Devil is like, I get this feeling like she and her husband, I feel their relationship is like, for whatever reason, kind of distant from each other. And I feel her husband, especially being very absorbed in his work and the things that he has to do. And it's their relationship, I feel, is quite like far away from each other. I can't really say it's broken, but I do definitely feel like despite however things may be broken or distant from each other, they still have to be together. And I do get this feeling of them wanting to honor their marriage. And especially, I feel it's very important for them to be married and stay married because I feel like they have assets and benefits to each other. Especially, I mean, it's not only about public image, but I get this feeling around Donald Trump that he of course, like anybody, needs a family. And I get this feeling about Trump to Melania that actually he quite feels at home with her. Um, that he feels like the house is not a home without her. So I do feel like he's quite attached to her, and he feels quite softly towards her. Like I feel like he always has a soft spot toward her. Um, and so let's ask the question about what about Melania Trump's future now? Third line. Melania Trump's future. what is she going to do in the future? Interesting. The Fool. Queen of Cups. King of Wands. So what I'm already seeing is that I feel Melania in the future stepping out into new realms or new bounds. And I definitely do get this feeling. And I've had this kind of vision before about Melania Trump starting some kind of business, or a business being started in her name. It's like her own brand. I get this feeling around her, like starting her own brand and her being very, very satisfied with this. And I feel like it could be something which is very like feminine in a way. Like, I get this image of it being like very Martha Stewart, like her own brand of cookware or appliances, um, and also around certain things that are sold like in department stores, like perfumes and handbags or something like this, and wallets as well as jewelry. And I feel like for whatever reason, it's not very fancy jewelry. It's not like gold. It's more like um, can't really call it costume jewelry. It's not costume jewelry. It's like something in between. It's not, I feel like it's not super high end, but it's more for like a basic consumer. And I get this image of like a chain bracelet, like a chain bracelet with like a heart on it that says like Melania or something like that. So it's kind of like middle end jewelry kind of stuff that I'm seeing. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing some kind of like cookware stuff where she's like endorsing it, and I'm seeing these visions of um, like a TV in the department store where she has this advertisement and she's like endorsing these products in the store. So it seems very strong. I feel that she's definitely, there's going to be some kind of brand opened up in her name. And I feel like it could potentially be after the presidential race, after the presidency is finished. After the presidency is finished. So it's something to look out for in coming years. Um, but with the King of Wands here, I am seeing like her coming into older age, being somewhat more independent from the Trump name and from the Trump um, atmosphere or Trump brand or what have you. I feel like she's gonna really stand on her own two legs, especially I feel when her son gets much older and becomes a real adult. I see him supporting her quite a lot. And I'm talking about Baron. I'm seeing her here with the world being really supported a lot by him, and him I do see him actually being quite rich and good in business as well, but I definitely feel that he's going to support her big time, and all of the endeavors that she wants to do. So something to look out for. Now, what else do we need to know about the future of Melania Trump? Please tell us what we need to know. The Lovers. Interesting. Interesting. Judgment. Interesting. Two of Cups again. That energy of partnership, love. Wow. Three of Wands. Reversed. What else? Seven of Wands. Some action taking place here. Now there's this whole energy here for the future of Melania about I feel her I feel this energy of her being unapologetic, basically. Um, I feel like this uh, Trump dynasty, I mean, we already see it, but I feel this Trump dynasty and Melania being a part of it, and the whole wealth and growth of wealth for this dynasty, for the Trump family, continuing and going on. And I feel her being totally, totally okay with that and being part of that dynasty. I don't see her leaving Trump at all. I mean, if that is even a question, but I don't see her divorcing him or leaving him. Um, but I do get this feeling, especially when he's older, about her being more independent and more distant from him and just focusing on her own projects and her own actions that she wants to take. And I feel her doing this in quite like an unashamed way, because I see her husband in the future being quite elderly, and then she will, I feel, still have time left. And she's going to be thinking to herself, what do I want to do with the rest of my time? So there's this energy about, like, I feel her being very, very engaged still in the family and in the lives of her children and in the lives of her children's children, like grandchildren. I definitely feel like she's going to be an active grandma, and I feel and I see actually this vision right now of paparazzi or tabloid headlines being like taking these pictures like, oh, look, here's Melania Trump with her granddaughter. Or, I mean, it comes up about granddaughter specifically. But it's like, here is the picture of Melania Trump with her granddaughter out in the city, you know, like this, like that. So I get this um, energy around her being like very much into her family life and trying to really take care of her family and her children and children's children. And she's very like motherly in that way, I feel. Yeah, there's definitely that like homey um, energy from her. I don't feel she's the type of woman who is like a Michelle Obama who is like trying to put herself out there as like a power suit of a woman or anything like that. I definitely get that feminine home, family, family oriented, like soft kind of energy from her. But at the same time, she has this very dynamic side of her where I feel like she will in the future as a business promote these kind of um, home aesthetic things. That's why I get this like Martha Stewart kind of vision or vibe. Yeah. So if you like this reading, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and you can write me in the comments anything you feel, if you agree, disagree. And also, I would like to hear from you which celebrities or events or countries or whatever you'd like to hear about in the tarot visions, psychic visions. I receive them as well. So anything you're interested to hear about for me to make a video about, I would really love to hear your suggestions. And I wish you all the very best. Take care and have a wonderful life until we meet again. Bye.